How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. Now on today's show we're going to be talking about the Premier League because clubs have voted to go back to the free sub rule. We're also going to be talking about Liverpool because they've had a bid for Norwich's Jamal Lewis rejected. And the last piece of news involves Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang because reports are saying he's agreed a new contract at Arsenal.
I represent my fucking self.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. That's right. So the first place we're going to start is the Premier League meeting yesterday, and clubs have unanimously voted to move back to the free substitute rule. Premier League clubs have voted against allowing teams to make 5 substitutions per game for the new season. Top flight teams will therefore return to being permitted free substitutes, while the number of players allowed on the bench will return to 7 in line with the pre-coronavirus regulations. All 20 clubs, including newly promoted Leeds, West Brom and Fulham, convened on Thursday at a Premier League shareholders meeting where decisions were made and taken ahead of the upcoming campaign, which is set to begin on September the 12th. One of the other decisions that's also on the agenda and something that they've agreed on is with VAR next season. Now VAR will be in operation, but one of the things that they're going to change is that they have now made it clear to referees that they are to use pitch side monitors to make their decisions. And on that first, I actually agree with that. I think that's very, very good news. Now, I've seen it once in an Arsenal game actually against Leicester where Eddie Nketiah was sent off, but the referee went over to the screen, had a look for himself, made his own decision and went and stuck by, what he decided. And there was no, hiding place with it. Nobody in a room that's X amount of miles away was making the decision for the referee. They can tell the referee, we think you might have made a mistake, go and have a look. But ultimately, it's down to the referee. And he's the one that you can blame if they get it wrong. There's no hiding place, like I said. And it's extra help. And, that's the problem with VAR. I don't think it's VAR, the technology, that's the problem. It's the officials. Because one of the biggest problems we've had in this country is that our referees are poor. They are so poor. The standard is abysmal. And you look at that and you say, well, what's the point in having technology when the same people that can't do their job properly in the first place are asked to run it? Think about it. So until we pick up the level of the refereeing to begin with, then I think that VAR will still have teething problems. I watch VAR in, big competitions like the World Cups and Euros and stuff like that, and it seems to work really well. Maybe another thing that they could do is actually mic up the referees like what you see, within rugby. And then everything's transparent. You can actually get an understanding of what's going on. And I think if you do that, then people will have more respect for the referees and an understanding of the current situation. That's what I think anyway. And I think that would, possibly be a very good move, a smart move, in fact. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. And we'll have to wait and see whether, that's something that they're going to do moving forward. So brilliant news though. And the situation with the 5 sub rule moving back to 3, of course, associations were given the option of keeping the 5, but clubs have unanimously voted, let's go back to the 3. And I think for the lesser clubs with the smaller squads, that's what they wanted anyway. You look at Manchester City squad, for example, and 5 subs and the kind of players that they could bring on. Yeah, it's not great, is it? But yeah, look, we want to get back to normal. And normality is 3 subs. It always has been. So let's just get back to normal in that sense. The 5 subs and the drinks breaks and everything else. It was there to serve its purpose, which was because of COVID and how condensed all the games were. But now the situation's changed and it's a lot different. So go back to normal. That's what I say anyway. Next piece of news involves Liverpool, and they have had a £10 million bid for Norwich left-back Jamal Lewis rejected as they look to bring in cover for Andy Robertson. The initial offer is said to be around half of what Norwich are looking for before they contemplate selling. and will be confident of getting that as he has 3 years left on his current contract. Liverpool could also include 19-year-old defender Yasser Larouci as part of the deal. Crucially, Larouci is part of a homegrown quota, so there is potential for a similar situation to the one that saw Kieran Stewart leave Anfield for Hull at the same time as Andy Robertson joined Liverpool in 2017. So yeah, this one's a very interesting one because, you know, Jamal Lewis played 28 Premier League games last season for Norwich. He was one of their standout performers, really good. And it's whether he wants to go to Liverpool and just sit on the bench, because that's what he's going to do. He's not going to overtake Andy Robertson. You know, he'd play in the Carabao Cup, FA Cup, for example, but Champions League and the Premier League, no, Andy Robertson will play. So does he want to go from first choice to being second choice? Yes, he's going to compete for major honours at Liverpool and probably have a nice shiny winner's medal from the Premier League or whatever, but how involved will he be? Is that what he wants? Does he want to establish himself and become a real top draw player and be first choice somewhere at a Liverpool eventually? Or does he want to go somewhere and at such a young age as well, just sit on the bench? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting. And the fact that they could do this swap as well, I'm interested with this one because the Andy Robertson one, I didn't even realise that they actually swapped over a guy called Kevin Stewart. I think I even said Kieran Stewart earlier. Where's that name come from? I know that. I think he was a footballer back in the day. But Kevin Stewart, they've swapped over with Andy Robertson. Is there anyone who actually knows who Kevin Stewart is? Let me know in the comment section. I'm not being, you know, rude or anything like that. I just don't know who he is. You know, does he still play for Hull? Is he one of their main players? Who is he? Because obviously Liverpool got the better end of the deal when you look at it. But what's happening to Kevin now? Where is he? Let me know. Surely someone out there will know where he is and what he's doing. So yeah, this is one we'll keep an eye on and we will see what happens in due course. Next piece of news, and this was one that brought a massive smile to my face for obvious reasons, but Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is close to ending speculation about his future by signing a new contract with Arsenal. First reported by the Daily Telegraph, Aubameyang is nearing an agreement on an extension to a deal which is currently due to expire at the end of next season. Aubameyang scored 22 goals in the Premier League last season and netted twice in Arsenal's 2-1 win over Chelsea in Saturday's FA Cup final. Since his move to Arsenal from Borussia Dortmund in January 2018, he has scored 54 goals in 85 Premier League games. Listen, his statistics speak for themselves. And once this is official and we get the pen signed on the dotted line and everything else and the pictures, then I will be truly buzzing because he's world class. The disrespect that this man gets pisses me off because he's a world class player. Yeah, for me, he's the best striker in the Premier League. I don't care what anyone says. His stats are not beaten or matched by anybody. Since his first game for Arsenal, no player in the Premier League has more goals than Aubameyang. He has 70 goals in all competition. The closest to him is Mo Salah on 68. Look at the team that Mo Salah plays in and look at the team that Aubameyang's been playing in. And he's still doing this. Are you mad? 22 goals this season, missed out on the Golden Boot by 1. Won the Golden Boot last season with Mane and Salah. Seriously, put some respect on the man's name. Honest to God, he is so good. He's world class. You are not going to be able to replace his goals. So getting him signed is huge. And I cannot stress enough how important Mikel Arteta has been in getting this deal done. If Mikel Arteta was not here, Aubameyang would be gone. Already signed for someone else. Bye-bye, out the door, he'd be out of it. But he believes in the project. And most crucially, what the reports are saying is that he actually believes that Arsenal are going to strengthen adequately in the summer to be able to compete. There you go. I can't say no more. I don't care what anyone says. For me, best player, striker in the Premier League. Don't care what anyone says. Stats prove it. You can't tell me any differently because the stats don't lie. They're there in black and white. More goals than anyone else. End of story. So there we go. That is it for today's DT's Daily. As usual, let me know in the comment section what you think about today's topics. Let me know what you think about this Aubameyang situation. Is this brilliant news for Arsenal that we can finally breathe and just rest and forget about possibly losing him? Because that would have been just horrendous if we would have lost him. Like I said, it's still not a done deal yet until it's official. But the reports are saying it's done. And I am so happy if this does get done. So listen, we've got so many videos coming out. Everything's going to be coming thick and fast. I've got plenty of welcome videos waiting. Don't you worry about that one. Listen, tonight, man, DTFC, we play our first game back since lockdown in a friendly. You'll be able to watch that game over on the DTFC channel when I release it. If you haven't subscribed already, get over there and subscribe. Links in the description and everything else. And yeah, if you're new around here, do hit this subscribe button, smash a like on the video, and I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.